Hi guys, it's Mikaela again, and I am here with another speed build, and this is actually a collab with Swesims. She actually furnished the outside and exterior and everything, and oh my gosh guys, it is so beautiful. I know it doesn't get shown much in this video, but you should definitely go check out hers. I'm going to link it down in the description, and I guess you could watch that one first, so it's like in order of doing the outside and then moving on to the inside, or you can watch mine first and then go to hers, you know, whatever you want. But no, when I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so freaking gorgeous. Like all the landscaping and everything. Like I feel like my furnishing on the inside is not as good, but hey, I still tried. But anyways, so right now I'm just working on like the living room, I guess, area. The house itself is pretty small. I'm pretty sure upstairs I could have fit 2 bedrooms, and especially when I was watching back this video, I definitely thought I could fit 2 bedrooms, but I only put 1 upstairs. But the backstory that I thought of for this house, for these vampires. So me and Swesims didn't talk about like any type of backstory or anything, so this is all just like in my head. But I feel like the vampires that live here, they're not quite a master vampire. Because I imagine that Vlad is still in this world, of course. And he is the master vampire, if I remember correctly. And I think that the master vampire, whoever he or she is, lives where Vlad lives. Because if you've ever seen that house, it's like, what, 3 stories big. Like it's really pretty inside, a really big house, really nice house. So I feel like maybe this house is just a step down, and I imagine that it's the same family that maybe lives here. So maybe these people have kids. Not sure where they're gonna put the kids because there's only 1 bedroom, but you know, they're gonna put them somewhere. And I also imagine that they don't move like with the times, so like there's no technology in this house. Like I didn't put a TV, I just put the fireplace. There's no computer or anything. Of course, if you play in this house, then you're gonna have your phone. There's no way to get around that. So I guess you could just use your imagination and pretend that your phone is actually like a bird or like an owl. Like, come on, Harry Potter, guys. But anyway, so I'm still working on the living room area. And like I said, I just had the fireplace, and I do have the bookcase kind of in the corner behind there. So I think that books would be the major way of entertainment besides just like inviting people over. And I think that the vampires here are like the creepy kind, not like the Twilight, like Cullen family kind, where they're really nice and don't drink human blood. I think these guys are terrifying and do drink human blood, and they make friends. They probably go out at night. Well, of course they go out at night, or maybe they have that perk where they can go out in the sunlight. I think that at least one of them has that. I do think that would be a couple that lived here. So vampire woman who marries a vampire man or something like that. But I think that they probably find like their prey, so like just a regular old sim, and then they invite that person over. And I decorated this house kind of in the like normal way. Like I definitely used a lot of the vampire stuff that we get in that pack. I also used a lot of the stuff from Get Together because I feel like they go really, really well together. So maybe these vampires go out and find like the human, or I guess the sim in this case, basically their prey, and there's like that instant attraction. The regular sim just wants to be friends with the vampires. So then they come over, and things are a little bit odd just because everything's really dark. Like I put statues everywhere, and then later on you'll see I put a bunch of like cobwebs and the scratches in the wall and everything to add to that crater effect. But also I think that the regular sim would be like, this is kind of weird, but these people are pretty nice. Some people would definitely be like that. So they come over, and then things just get really weird, and then they end up either becoming a vampire or dying. This just became really morbid, I'm sorry. Anyways, I am working on the kitchen right now. It ended up being pretty small. I think that the vampires that do live here, live strictly just on blood, so having a kitchen isn't really necessary, but it is necessary to prove to any regular sim that comes over that they are like normal, even though they're not. They are a freaking vampire. And I had a lot of trouble right here just making the cabinets match and everything. And I ended up using, I'm pretty sure, or I want to say the vampire cabinets that we get in that pack. But I was having troubles because, so it has the cabinets and then it has, or these are the counters. Yeah, so I had the counters and then I had the cabinets, and they're both the color brown, right? But I felt like the cabinets were off, like an off color of what the counters were. I don't know. Maybe it's just my eyes being messed up. My eyesight is pretty bad, so that would not surprise me, but it was just bugging me. So it took me a very, very long time. And I just put a few decorations up here. I thought having knives up there were like a nice like creepy touch, because then it just adds to like the creepiness factor and everything. And then I do put black curtains everywhere. I imagine that at nighttime, these vampires probably aren't in the main level of the house. And then over in this room, I decided to make the dining room. And originally I did want to use a bigger dining room table, because they have like they have like the really small ones, then they have like the medium sized ones, and then they have the really long ones. So I was like, ooh, having the long one would be cool, but it wasn't quite fitting. And then those pictures I just put on the wall, I imagine were like their original like 2 vampires in that family, like back in their human regular Sims days. So I don't know, I thought it was a nice little touch there. And then you can see right here, I am putting in some cobwebs. I put like that giant scratch on the wall, and I don't know, I just felt like it added so much to it. I also really like those heaters that we get in the vampire pack, like just for any build, because I mean, if you go into a house, then you know there's going to be heaters everywhere. And then I go ahead and make sure I add some lighting. Since vampires do live here, then they obviously can't have much lighting from the sun. So as much artificial lighting as I could find, I definitely put up here. And then I moved to the upstairs, and basically I just had like a giant open room. It was kind of like a skill room in a way, I guess you could think of it that way. And then I do have the organ that I put in the corner over there, which I actually really like the organ in The Sims. Actually, when I was little, I kind of knew how to play because my grandma had one. And I was really jealous of one of my best friends. Like we became friends in 4th grade. So we were friends like 4th grade, 5th grade, like best friends. And she was so good at the piano, and I was so jealous because my mom couldn't afford the piano for me because they're really expensive, at least I think. I've never really looked at the price of one, but too expensive for my mom to buy. So I was really jealous about it. So then I was like, okay, my grandma has an organ, which is close enough to a piano. So then I just started playing that a little bit, but I was definitely never as good as my friend who played the piano. And now I'm just not musically inclined at all. I think I tried playing the guitar once, and yeah, that's about it. But anyways, over here I decided to make the bedroom, and I imagine that this isn't the bedroom that actually gets used as a bedroom. It's just another prop. But maybe the vampires that live here still do a little bit of sleeping or whatnot. So I decided to use these blackout curtains, which I think blackout curtains are such a great invention. Like, I really need some in my room because I'm the type of person who can't really sleep with any light in the room. So like going to hotels and everything, so great. I remember one time I was staying at a hotel, and I couldn't have stayed up too late the night before, probably like midnight, maybe 1 a.m., something like that. And then because of the blackout curtains, I literally stayed asleep until like 11 a.m. But it was fine. Sleep is good sometimes, or like all the time. And since I wasn't incorporating any type of technology or like modern things or anything, I did keep the rooms pretty plain and simple, but I feel like that adds to the intensity of things. And also in the bedroom, I didn't have like a main ceiling light. I just have the wall lights as well as the light that's on the little nightstand. And I don't know if you've known this, but I definitely tried to make it so like there wasn't like modern ceiling lights everywhere. And I did like using the candlesticks and also the wall lights as well. And since I really like putting gnomes in my builds for some reason, I still don't know why, I decided to put this creepy one that's like the Grim Reaper or something like that. I don't know. Again, adds to the intensity of things. And I thought about putting those sunflowers there, but then I was like, no, it's too bright, it's too yellow, it's too happy. I feel like yellow is just like a really like happy color. Like, I don't know. I've never really been a big fan of yellow. Like, I like it sometimes, but I don't know. It just like it reminds me of the sun and sunflowers and like a lot of like typically happy things. So I don't know. So I really just wanted to stay away from anything happy because I feel like if you're a regular sim and you get brought here, there is nothing happy about this place. Although that could be actually really fun too. Like just thinking like using my English degree and thinking of like the deeper meaning of things. Like I feel like that could mean something like really big if like there's a character in a story and everything's yellow or it has like these really happy things. Like, what could that mean? Okay, sorry, I'm being all English teachery with you all. But anyway, so now I'm moving on to the bathroom, the second bathroom, because I wanted to make sure there's a bathroom on each floor. And so I have this one up here. I actually really like how this bathroom turned out. I like how dark it is. I know I've mentioned this before, but I do really like dark things. And I don't know, I think black is just a really nice color. Like, it goes with anything, and it just works like everywhere. And I do have a bathtub up there. I'm not sure if Sims in this or Vampire Sims have to use the shower or anything. Still haven't gone through that gameplay, but again, I am planning on doing that. And I do also add a chess table up here because I was like, okay, if this is like a hobby area, like what could these Sims do? And I thought, maybe they would play chess. I think I played chess once in my life. I might have mentioned this to you guys before. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. But I remember I went to a pub in Scotland and there was a chess table there and I was with some of my flatmates. And then they were all talking about how to play chess, but it confuses me. Like they tried going through it with me, but I was so confused. Like maybe I'll learn one day, but it's not going to be anytime soon. And then down here, I was actually really excited to see this because Swesims did make like the base of this, and it's like the little like dungeon-y area. I think there's a better name for that, but I'm blanking on it right now. So I imagine that the Sims that live in this house probably do the majority of their sleeping in here. They just use the bed when they have a regular sim visitor around. So I put the coffins down here, and then I put like these chairs up here because they reminded me of like a throne or something like that. So maybe they think that they're like the bosses, but they're not the master vampires. They just really want to be. And I put like this book stand right there because it was also giving me a bunch of like when I say religious vibes, I don't mean like the Bible or something like that, but like I imagine like a vampire religion, if that makes sense. And I also put some pictures of different like vampire sims that we get in the vampire pack, and I just imagine that maybe. And I think it was pretty fun to think of the possibilities with this, because with vampires you can create them so differently in your mind, because in stories and movies and whatnot, there's always different vampires. Like there's the Twilight ones and there's like the scary like Dracula ones. But anyways, this wraps up at the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. Please, please, please make sure you go check out Swesims. She is very sweet, and again, she did such a great job. And please subscribe if you're not already. Please give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone.